What one thing leads to a covert narcissist discard? We're going to break that down in this video. Hey, I'm Dr. Melissa. I'm a trauma expert and top doctor. And in this video and on this channel, I help you identify the hidden narcissists in your life, identify the impact that they've had on your life, and then turn that trauma and that drama into gold, becoming more powerful and stronger than you ever were before. If that sounds like just what you need, click subscribe, click that notification bell, and stay tuned, because today we are talking about the one thing that leads to a covert narcissist's final discard. I get it, right? You've had that dreadful realization. You're shook. You see it so clearly now. You're in a relationship with a covert narcissist. You're reeling. You don't know how you missed it. You're wondering what comes next. Maybe you've chosen to separate. Maybe your partner has. Or maybe you're still together in some kind of standoff. You're hoping that they'll just leave and end your misery. You don't want to displace your kids. You don't want to be the one to break up the family. You are so done, and you're so curious about what comes next. When will they leave? How will they react if you leave? You've heard about hoovering. Will the covert narcissist prolong your agony, or is it a final discard? Will it finally be done? Covert narcissists are a bit of an enigma. They don't behave like their overt counterparts do. All narcissists are motivated by the pursuit of narcissistic supply. But this motivation for covert or vulnerable narcissists especially can be entirely subconscious. While an overt narcissist often seeks narcissistic supply through praise, admiration, respect, attention, validation, they also get it through power and control over others. Covert narcissists seek attention by being the victim and or the hero in each and every story they tell you. They sabotage themselves, their partners, their relationships. Then they blame it on you, their partner. They receive a lot of their narcissistic supply from their flying monkeys when they reach out for support, crying on their shoulders. They have an intense amount of internal shame and worthlessness. And the covert narcissist will hide that by marrying up, so to speak, by choosing someone who elevates their status. For a long while, this seems like a partnership made in heaven. The covert narcissist or vulnerable narcissist often has caretaking or people-pleasing tendencies, plus difficulty setting boundaries, like many other codependent or emotionally dependent individuals. They present themselves as whoever you want them to be. And once the devaluation starts, it takes a long time for you to clearly see what's going on, for you to clearly see who they are. This can take years or decades. Often it's impossible to think that the covert narcissist could be shooting themselves in the foot, so to speak, with their sabotage of you that also harms them. For this reason, covert narcissists often have relationships that last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more years. They are not focused on securing new sources of supply in the way that flashier, overt narcissists are. A covert narcissist is less likely to discard than an overt, grandiose narcissist. Why? The covert narcissist gets so much more from telling their flying monkeys how you wronged them this week, from subtly devaluing you passive-aggressively, and from creating drama for you to navigate. It's their own reality TV show, and they are directing every detail. And while it may be true that an overt narcissist rarely has a final discard, the same cannot be said of a covert or vulnerable narcissist. There is one thing that makes a covert narcissist discard permanently. Remember, a covert narcissist is subconsciously and powerfully motivated by two things. First, narcissistic supply. And second, preserving their idealized self and their made-up version of reality. When their mask slips and you see who they truly are, their Dr. Jekyll side is terrified and filled with intense internal shame and fear. Mr. Hyde almost immediately jumps in and retaliates at you with a ferocity like you've never seen. You are a threat that needs to be neutralized. You are now the enemy. And once you hit that point in the relationship, there's no going back. They will either discard you or they will torture you until you discard them. At this point, the covert narcissist is scrambling. They've got to cut their losses. They've got to keep as much narcissistic supply as possible. After all the assaults on your character they've made over the years, after all the horrific things they've said about you to obtain massive amounts of narcissistic supply, they have to save face with their flying monkeys. This is a final discard. It is highly unlikely they will want you back if you've seen the truth of who they are. They can no longer trust you to hold their idealized self and their false version of reality as truth. And it's a blessing in disguise for you. You've been living an invisible lie that's been killing you. The discard is an opportunity for you to heal and move forward. If this resonates with you, type "I choose to move forward" in the comments. Then like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to this channel to hear more messages like this one. And if you know that you want to move from narcissist victim to narcissist survivor, I invite you to download my free guide so that you get clarity about where you're at and your next best step. That can be done at narclesslife.com. I'm Dr. Melissa, and I will see you in the next video.